guys, welcome to the bus. I'm Devin.
I'm Brianna.
And welcome to our home. Welcome into the bus. As you step in, the first thing that you're gonna notice is we actually have this really nice shoe storage. We kind of have it broken up into hers over here just because it's a little more shallow. And then we have all of my shoe storage over here. It's a little bit deeper. Got all my shoes. Really throw your keys and everything right up in here as soon as you come in the door. So that all works out really nicely. You don't have to come in much further to see the next big feature that we have. And we've had a lot of people talk about this because it's pretty cool, but this is actually our litter box. So we have a cat named Tillo and a dog named Archie. And so we had to figure out kind of a nice, creative, cool spot to put the litter box. So we slapped it right underneath here. You can see it's got nice little hooks in there so it stays shut whenever we're driving. And then we're actually able to empty all this out and then just store this away completely whenever we're driving down the road. So also we've just got kind of a custom little, I guess, command center you want to call it. We just kept the switches that we needed. Tried to keep it pretty minimal. So just open and close door. Nothing like too crazy here, but yeah, just try to clean it up and make it our own thing. Okay, so just a couple specs about the bus. It is a 2001 Bluebird school bus. It's 39 foot long, so we've got plenty of space. And it's got about 110,000 miles, so this thing is just getting started since it has a diesel 5.9 Cummins engine. So next up, we've got our two twin couches, which are mostly used for storage. We also store our table over here, which can sit like 6 people. You can also sit down in the middle and turn this into a full bed for guests. My wife Brianna is the first love of my life, but you're gonna meet the second love of my life, and this is my gaming slash workstation here. This is a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor in a bus, and it's a full gaming PC. I can play anything at max settings. You nerds know what I'm talking about. So I absolutely love this whole setup and that we were able to bring that into the bus. So another really cool feature of our build is this Cubic Mini wood stove that we have here. It's made by Cubic Mini wood stoves, as I said, but we had to find a way to really heat the front side of the bus, and we thought going natural, like if we're in the backwoods, we need to just find wood. That's all we need. So we bought this and put it in here. It fits perfectly, just looks really good, and it actually puts out a ton of heat. This is Archie's kennel area over here, but before it was Archie's kennel area, it was actually Brianna's desk space. So the really cool thing about these is, since you need to maximize your space inside of a bus, we actually have 2 little tabs that you hit, and these can fold down completely against the wall. And both desks do that, so you can regain this space. You can even put extra seats here if you want more guests. Now you're coming back into our kitchen area. We built, I think, a pretty big kitchen. We wanted a lot of space for cooking. Again, I've talked a little bit about guests already, so we just wanted to keep it open. You can see here we actually have a full oven, which I don't think you'll see in a lot of buses, so we really love that we have that because my wife loves to bake. If you look in here, again, this is just an example of maximizing your space. I built these cool little drawers so that we could kind of get that vertical space and so that everything isn't just falling around while we're traveling. You can see our countertops here. We actually just bought these at Menards and cut them down to size. This is butcher block, but then we finished it first. We just tried to oil it, keep it really natural. It just didn't work out for us very well. It was kind of staining. So we put water locks on it and it worked out awesome. It's got that super smooth finish. Can't see any lines or anything. And you could technically cut on it, but we don't, just to be safe. If you step over to this side here, we've got that same nice countertop, and we've also got a couple different options to get water. We have a 100-gallon water tank in the back so that we can actually go off grid for quite a while, along with a water pump and solar, but we can also just hook up to a campground and get shore power and shore water just right there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the fridge because when we first started, we actually had an apartment-sized fridge, which I think would work just fine. We went with another option because, like I talked about before, we really like to have the option to go off grid. And so this actually allows us to hook up to either electric or propane. So that's always a nice feature to have if you want to hit the back roads. Another thing that you'll see here is our custom pantry that we built, all with locking latches, just to make sure like nothing comes out while we're driving. Got our trash can down here, and then this is all just basically food storage. So probably one of the things I'm most proud about in this build is my progression in woodworking, and here's one example of that. Got this really cool bifold door. It just kind of separates the front area from the sleeping area. Now we're going back to the sleeping area of the bus, which again is kind of divided up by some doors, but we have 2 bunks, again for guests because we love having people over. So we've got a top and a bottom bunk. Each one of them has their own little USB charging as well as some cool little night lights. And then we've also utilized this space, because again, you got to use all the space, as some little clothes storage. So this is where most of my clothes live, right there. Then if you come all the way down, you're going to get into our solar setup. Obviously not the panels, but we have all of our batteries, inverter, solar charge controller, and our AC panel right under here. So having solar panels was super important to us. We kind of talked about it just a little bit, but having the ability to go off grid and just a boondock for really as long as we have water. And so 740 watts will let us do everything. All of our lights are 12 volt. It could power our lights for a year probably. And so we have no problem powering that. Our refrigerator, any electronics, laptops, charging, even my gaming computer can run off of these panels right here. Just across from the bunk beds, we have our fully tiled bathroom with a shower. Okay, so this is our bathroom, definitely one of our best features. Probably one of the ones we get the most comments about. It features a composting toilet made by Nature's Head right here. So again, we keep that boondocking theme. We've also got, as you can see, the full thing is tiled with a full stand-up shower. And one of the coolest things is we didn't do a roof raise on the entire bus. If you look up, we actually did a roof raise on just this part of the bus. All right, so if you look over to the left side of the shower, you're gonna see that we have a full bench, and that actually goes into storage underneath it where we store all of our shower stuff. So here's another really cool door that we made. It's got like that asymmetric design, just absolutely love this thing. And that is the bedroom door, which we're gonna go to next. So come on back to the very nice and cool air-conditioned bedroom. Actually a ton of space. We have a full queen-size bed, plenty of storage in the left and right over the bed. You can see our mini split back there. We just got all kinds of good things. So if you look right here, we've got our hamper, which is right above our washer and dryer. If you go to the other side, this is where the rest of our clothes are. They're actually just right down here in these bins, kind of folded up. Most of my clothes are right here. And then a lot of Brianna's clothes and hanging clothes just go right above that. Okay, so this is our washer and dryer by Splendy. This thing is absolutely awesome. It both washes, and as soon as it's done washing, it'll start to dry. So why a bus over maybe like a Sprinter van or even an Element? What do you think?
Yeah. I feel like when we first found out about schoolies, it was really attractive and this cool thing that we thought we could totally do, and we are totally doing it, and we do love this lifestyle. But for me personally, now living in a school bus, I want to downsize to a Sprinter van just because, and we haven't even started traveling yet, but when we do travel, there are places that I want to be able to explore inside my home, and the bus is a little bit too large to go, you know, up the mountains and like explore cities and like tighter city spaces, I guess, that you really can't take a school bus. But a Sprinter van, you can park anywhere and live anywhere, take it anywhere. And so I already kind of want to downsize. Right.
And I'll kind of work from the other side a little bit. But the main thing that a bus offers you is a lot of space. So if it's only going to be travel, especially if you're going like campground to campground, I think a bus is an excellent idea because you're basically getting a Class A motorhome RV.
It's perfect.
For way cheaper, and you get to make it whatever you want. So I think that's why a bus can be an awesome option depending on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
The why is pretty big, and it's the whole idea of, I guess it's just a millennial idea that we don't buy into the American dream where you have to have the huge house with a three-car garage, and like that's your goal and that's what you should be going after, because really what you're buying into is debt, and we just don't like that. So we built this bus, paid cash the whole way. It's part of why it took so long, but it's ours and it's our house.
We really love to travel, so our goal is to travel in our schoolie, eventually find where we want to set some roots down, buy some land, and build a home. So hopefully, while we live in this school bus, we can just follow our dreams of travel and where we want life to take us in the end.
So surprisingly, we actually had really good reactions to telling our parents and our family that we were going to downsize and live in a bus. Of course, they thought it was a little bit crazy, but even before we showed what the bus looked like, we had, just good vibes all around. And especially once we showed everybody what we turned it into and what we could really make it look like, people loved it. And so I would encourage like more millennials to kind of think outside of the box, and really anybody, not just millennials, just think in a different way, do things in a different way, because I'm not going to say that we've been tricked, but we've all just kind of bought into this idea of that this is what life should look like. And it's kind of time for us to write our own story and make our own path.
Yeah.
our main plan is really just to get out of here. Right now we live in Illinois, we live in the Midwest, and once winter comes, there's really just not much to do here. You're kind of just waiting for spring and summer, and so you're waiting to live again. And so we're just really looking forward to going west and seeing everything that it has to offer. We love the snowboarding, we love the mountains and everything, so that's just where our hearts are right now. And so if anybody's going to be in the Southwest, just look us up, and we really look forward to meeting you guys out on the road.